welcome to one more episode of Let's Talk About It. I'm your host, the one and only. And on this episode, we will be talking about overbearing parents or overbearing parenting, or anyone that is overbearing for that matter. As you know, on our previous episode, we spoke about getting over or coming back from a heartbreak, and we did touch a little bit on overbearing parents and how bad parents can affect a relationship between a man and a woman in a negative way, obviously, if you let them. Overbearing parents, there's a study made that one of the things that affect grown-ups the most, and especially women, is having a overbearing mother. Unfortunately, some people, they don't actually live their lives, and some people try to live their lives through their kids, and this is a very, very real thing. I'm that type of person that, I don't care if you're my son. If you're in the wrong, you're in the wrong. And there's a lot of parents don't do that. I think most parents are actually quite complacent, and they actually condone their kids' behavior by not saying anything. This could be from the smallest thing to a big thing. Now, like I said on my previous video, guys, send us some emails. Let's utilize the networking ability that we have. I'll read it. I'll go through it. I'll break it down, and just keep in mind that whatever you're going through, you're not the only one. You're not the worst. So that's why this challenge exists, right? To bring men and women together, and that's exactly what we want to do. Now, overbearing parents. First, let's talk about the role of being a parent. The role of being a parent is huge. It's a big thing. I think is the most important job that you can have. Definitely the most rewarding, but also quite difficult. And it's a job that you can never take breaks from. You can never come off from. You can never, take some time off, or even when they grow. I reckon that you're still there. Now, me personally, I don't have a good relationship with my parents, and that's just fuel for me to be even a better parent. Now, there's two types of bad parents. There's a parent that will give you everything you want, and with that, it will prevent you from having the joy for life, the joy in life, the joy to live. The joy to live, the joy for life, the joy to achieve things. The other bad parent is the parent that doesn't do absolutely anything. So the Goldilocks would be in between. Give them whatever they need to build that house, but don't build the house for them. And that's just an analogy. And that's how it should be. Now, overbearing parents, there's several types of overbearing parents, but the main things that overbearing parents do is, number one is don't let you make your own decisions. Number two, they manipulate you into doing what they want to do. They manipulate you with guilt. They say things like, oh, you don't love your mother, things of that nature. We're going to touch more into that. They will convince you when you're in love, for example. They will convince you that your partner is not a good partner. How would they know? How would they know? A lot of overbearing parents, they have a toxic relationship of their own with a man, or they had, or they're single, right? Overbearing parents, they tend to be control freaks. They tend to, keep a very, very, very close grasp on the person, and it is somewhat or in part a manipulation game. A lot of relationships break down as soon as the person, the child, becomes an adult, and they realize, they realize so many things, so many lies that they've been told, and so many things that were not true, so many things that were misconstrued, so many things that were manipulated, and that creates resentment. Okay, and a person with resentment will never, ever, ever be able to have a healthy relationship with anyone, especially with that person that they resent. So overbearing parents, literally, if you have an overbearing parent, you have a toxic relationship with that parent, because you go from a position where, okay, they're stronger than you physically and than your parents, and then you are as strong as them, and then you're stronger than them. Not only that, you're old enough to do your own thing. Now the relationship becomes toxic because now you're an adult. Now it's one adult trying to tell another adult what to do. And this is where it gets really nasty. If you ever went on a rampant of cussing, like massive argument with your parent, one of your parents, and you guys cuss each other, you guys have a toxic relationship. And it's important to recognize, when you have a toxic relationship with someone, in this case, we're talking about parents, a lot of people are afraid to let go or to break that bond. Now, you should always give that person especially if it's a parent, right? And especially if the person was an average parent. Even if the person is an average parent, they deserve the benefit of the doubt. You should always give them a chance. But that chance must come with conditions. You need to tell them that they have no bearing in your life. You need to tell them that you choose to be in their life and not the other way around. And you need to tell them that they don't make your decisions. And if you need any advice, you'll ask. You don't need them to be butting in. And that's how you start building a healthy relationship with that parent. In fact, I would say that kids have the power to actually make their parents be better people, because with time, parenting is a forever thing, isn't it? With time and losing that bond, losing that nurture, losing that love, that affection from your child, as a parent, you start thinking, okay, maybe I can compromise. Maybe I was in the wrong. And that's very, very important to get to that realization. A lot of people are delusional, straight up delusional. A lot of people need a reality check. I think we all do to a certain extent, to be honest with you. But definitely overbearing parents, they need a major reality check. They're already coming from a place where I'm your mother or I'm your father, I know better. Not really. It's just like those parents that obviously don't want their kids to drink and smoke, but they drink and smoke. That's why me personally, I lead by example. I don't drink, nor do I smoke, nor have I ever, or I even do drugs. So my kids can take from me. You don't need to be a toxic person. You don't need to do what everyone else is doing. And, you don't need to have a relationship with somebody that does toxic things if you don't want to do them. And some parents made very, very bad decisions in their lives, yet they want to come around and tell you what to do. Now, when you make bad decisions and you make mistakes and you master yourself, you improve yourself, yes, in that case, you are in a position of giving me good advice because you straighten your life up. You already been through the dirt, so I won't have to. That's fantastic. But an overbearing parent often will not have their life together, and they will try to live another life through their kid's life. And that's one of the biggest problems that we have in society. Now, I'm a big fan of poetry. I listen to a lot of poetry. I'm always on YouTube. I'm a YouTube guy. I'm more of a listener than a reader, yet I read a lot. I had to. And I'm a very I'm an avid fan of Stoicism. Now, for those who don't know, I know in the dictionary it says that a stoic person is a person that would not show any feelings, a person that would be, very well put together, or be kind of like blunt or grayish, where something or someone with no color, someone that would not transmit any type of emotions, which actually is incorrect. Stoics have a lot of emotion. They are in control of those emotions. Now, one of my favorites is Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius was obviously an emperor from Rome. And Marcus Aurelius says, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. And this is true. A lot of people, they lose control, or they get angry over things that they cannot control, including myself. And this is something that I am looking to improve and to master, because I'm just a human being as everyone else is. And when you have a relationship with somebody that is, when you have an overbearing parent that you have a relationship with, this is one of the things that you must keep in mind. Do not clash with an overbearing parent over things that you have no control over. It's okay. Time will pass, you will grow. And even though at the time it may seem that, it's the end of the world, or it will never be different, that is not true. We all grow. And you go from no feet to 1 feet, 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet. And depending whether you're a man or a woman, you keep going up. So we all grow. Now, anything outside of those events, realize that you have the strength. So if you don't chase things that you cannot control, it means that whatever you can control is your strength. Realize that, improve that, get on that, make your strength be stronger, right? If you have overbearing parents, and therefore a toxic relationship would be inbound, to be honest, then if you need help, seek help. Honestly, seek help. Don't be afraid to cut people that make you feel less than what you are. This is very important. This is very, very, very important. Seneca, for example, says, it's not because things are difficult that we dare not to venture. And it is true. Even Kennedy, in one of his speeches, he says, we don't dare to go to the moon because it's easy, but because it's hard. So don't run away from things. Realize your strength. Master your strength. Endure your weaknesses, or even turn your weaknesses into your strengths. Because the word here is enduring. You have to endure. We all have to endure. And that's what it is. But enduring is not a form of despair. When you endure something, you get better, you get stronger. You have an overbearing parent, as long as it's not physical, that's where I would draw the line. But it could be, as long as it's not physical. It's a matter of time. I've read on the news. I've read on a newspaper a long time ago. It was this 35-year-old woman, and they were talking about the exact same subject that we're talking about today, which is overbearing parents. And she was single. She's been in love a couple of times. Because of her mother, she lost those people that she loved, that didn't, end up marrying someone else, having kids with someone else. And she was a single woman, 35, with a couple of cats, and absolutely unhappy. And guess what? She didn't even talk to her mother anymore. All because she had an overbearing parent. And the things that she said, the examples that she gave was amazing to me. Now, I don't know. I mean, I think we all have overbearing parents to a certain extent, but that then would imply, because overbearing means too much. So I think that parents are controlling to a certain extent because they think they know what's best for you. But when parents don't listen to what you want, what something that is harming you, hurting you, is making you feel less, this is where, then it becomes an issue. I've had for a long time a toxic relationship with my mom. I never had a relationship with my dad. And now I have no problems cutting people off. No problems whatsoever. To be honest, I haven't had that problem in a while. Because I've realized that, there are things that I cannot control. So you just drop it. Just let it go. Because you can't control those things. You can't control when people talk bad things about you. Now, you can control if you are around them. Or you can control if you're going to listen to them or not. And when Marcus Aurelius was talking about realizing what, obviously, that you can't control the outside events and you will find strength. This is what he meant. Okay? So, again, overbearing parents, it's a huge, huge issue. And it's not talked enough. It's not talked about enough. And it's one of the biggest problems we have in society. Because overbearing parents often will condone certain behaviors from very bad kids, then become, bad grown-ups, and we all know how that's like. Again, guys, definitely send us an email. Share your experiences. It's all about networking. The email is on the description below. Like I said, with your support, trying to make as many of these videos as possible. Hopefully, very soon get someone else, people that want to come online, want to come on live, to talk about things that affect us all, from heartbreaks to relationships to divorce, parenting, things that does affect all of us in society. And like I said, there's a lot of platforms where people either take a man's side or a woman's side. Why not bring men and women together? Why not care about the family unit? And on this channel, that's what we care about. We care about the family unit. We want to see the traditional family unit back like it used to be. Because to be honest, there's not much more outside of family and friends. And that's a fact. And that's how we build things. That's how we've been doing it for thousands of years. And we're in a position now where the media is brainwashing everyone, and everybody's got something to say, but no one says, be patient. No one says, okay, so you're complaining about this person. What did you do to contribute to that situation? No one looks at themselves objectively and be like, okay, what can I do? What is it that I have power on? I have power over myself. How can I improve myself? And this is one of those channels. And I'm not knocking down other channels or other people that, stand for men. I stand for men. I stand for women. I stand for everyone. Or channels that just stand for women, because, there are some things that I think needs to be improved in society from both ends. But when it comes to relationships, you can only have control over yourself. And this is where it starts. It's been a pleasure. Send us an email, get in touch with us, support the channel, and keep safe. Thanks for listening.